Hey everyone, it's Todd Staruch, the horror nerd, here at the 10th anniversary First Contact Fantasy Film Festival. I think that's the new title, right?
I think that's
Sci-fi and fantasy, something like that?
Yeah, sci-fi and fantasy.
Anyway, we are here at Smodcastle Cinemas in Atlantic Highlands. We are about to kick off the day, and before the madness ensues, I wanted to spend a little time with Mark Boutros, festival founder and director, and Patrick Devaney, jury president, I guess, is your title. Yeah. So, guys, thank you for having me here at the event.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Mark, this is your 10th anniversary, so congratulations. That's a huge milestone. Why don't you share with us a little bit about how the festival started and your journey to 10 years?
Sure. It actually started a little more than 10 years ago in the back of a bookstore in Queens called Enigma Books. And we were showing films. A friend of mine owned the bookstore. I said, hey, can you help out show some films? From there, we had a convention 10 years ago. And the first film festival, we've just been going ever since. I would like to say this is our first time back in the theater since COVID. So
nice.
For 5 years, 2019 was the last time we're in the theater.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
So how did you manage to partner up with this guy? So full disclosure, I have known these guys for longer than I actually care to admit. But they are very good friends, and I support everything that they do. So, but how did you guys manage to partner up for the festival?
You show
Pat,
back in the days before the internet, there were things called bulletin board services where you have dial-up, one computer meets the other, and on a Dungeons and Dragons board, I started talking to this guy. And he said, yeah, exactly. It was about as nerdy as you can get.
Then again, I played D&D with this guy. So.
D&D on old computers is the most nerdy thing you could do. And he said, hey, listen, I got this game coming up. You want to play? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, I live in New York City. I said, so do I. He goes, I live in Queens. I said, so do I. He goes, I go to Queens College. I said, so do I. And then we realized that we'd actually seen each other, like we knew who each other were. And it was just this random kind of thing. And he's like, well, so on Monday, why don't you come and meet the rest of the group and everything else? And we've been friends, like that was 30 years ago. We've been friends ever since. And when we started doing film work together, I was like, listen, you know how to work the camera, you know how to do these things, teach me how to edit, teach me how to do these things. And I'll go from there. And he did. So we've been doing this pretty much 30 years now. But film work about 15. Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, to know anyone, much less be friends with someone for 30 years, is something in and of itself. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's put up with a lot in 30 years. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, trust me, I hear about it.
I'm sure.
Oh, wait, never mind. I didn't mean to bring that up. So, Mark, the festival is called First Contact. Tell us a little bit about the theme of the festival. Like, in other words, the significance of the name and what the festival is all about.
Well, the first year we did the festival was a convention. So the first contact, con was a pun on con. But the idea, if you look at Harvey, he has a little sword, he's an alien, there's a little magnifying glass. So the original theme was sci-fi, fantasy, and mystery. But we kept the mystery and we call it the strange. So sci-fi, mystery, and the strange.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, Patrick, as you know, I also, a little shameless self-promotion, I also run a film festival. So Absolutely. I know some of the challenge. But from your perspective, what are the biggest challenges to judging the vast variety of films that get submitted to a festival like this?
We have a lot of really good judges. Most of them are going to be here today, which is great. I rely on a lot of different people, of course, you being one of them. And I try to get as much information from the judges as possible. But the real tough part is that we got so many good films this year, and we only have a one day to do everything. It's like there are films I wish we could have included, but we can't. So we try to figure out what are the absolute best of the best and give a variety of different genres, like not just animation, not just sci-fi, not just comedy, things like that, and try to get a good blend of things. But the toughest thing, we had 130 submissions this year. We can only pick 34 films. And that was the toughest thing right there, because with almost no exception, these were all really good. We got a fantastic crop of films this year. So for me, that's the toughest thing. And then going around seeing, okay, what's the criteria of one little tiny thing over the other and that kind of stuff. But it's a good problem to have. Too much quality stuff is a really good problem to have. But for me, that's the hardest part.
True. I feel your pain. Yeah. I get it. So, Mark, from in a similar vein, from your perspective, what is your biggest challenge as festival director in general? And what do you wish people would know about running a film festival?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Like,
How much time do we
I
have?
think we're gonna have to stop the tape. No, look, it's a challenge, right? So my biggest goal is to have a space for filmmakers and creators to come together, right? So, we want the filmmakers to come out, we want fans to come out, and it's not like watching something on TV. You meet the filmmakers. This is what we live for, right? We want to connect to the audience. We want to connect to each other. So the biggest challenge is getting people to come out, right? And people are busy. How do we schedule it? How do we get people to come out? Providing time, right? We want to show as many films as possible, but we want people to talk. So how do you manage that, the real estate of the festival itself, so you can get people to network and talk and hang out and show the films? So that, I would say, those are the biggest challenges.
Fair enough. Yeah. And one final question, this is for both of you, is we'll flip that question a little bit. What is the most rewarding aspect of running a film festival? I know all the work that goes into it, and I'm sure today you were like me, like, did I forget anything? Like, Jesus, what could go wrong, right? What is the most rewarding part of doing all of this?
Hey, look, so if anybody who watches your videos, you say, I'm just a fan. I mean, that's what it is. We started this with the goal of watching movies that we want to watch and hang out with people who either made those movies or enjoy the same kind of movies we want to watch. And that's it. It's just being a fan of this stuff and watching movies, and it's just like having a party and watching some really cool shit, really.
Fantastic. Pat, same question.
And for me, it's the reaction from the audience and the filmmakers, having their work shown and then being able to appreciate it with an audience. And then getting to talk to them afterwards, which is always such a wonderful thing to see their excitement and see what they're doing next and seeing like what they, all the different things they have done to this point. And I just find that fascinating, like seeing all these creatives in one place. I love that aspect of it, but also it's just to see really good films. It's an excuse for all of us to come and hang out and like really just do something that promotes this kind of thing because if we're not promoting it ourselves, no one's promoting it. No one cares. No one's backing us. Indie people have to do it themselves. We have to do it ourselves. And if we're not going to support each other, there's no point in doing any of this. So to see that joy in the filmmakers' faces and to just, to give that experience with an audience, that's the best thing in the world for me.
I love it. Mark, any final words before we wrap it up?
It might be a little bit too late for this year, but we're the week after Mother's Day every single year, so we're going to do it again here at Smodcastle. Just pencil it in right now for 2025.
Fantastic. Go to firstcontactfilmfestival.com, right? And all the information is there. We'll be posting the list of the winners, the nominees, and a whole bunch of photos and videos from the event. Pat, thank you as always. Mark,
thank you.
Thank you. This is going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for giving us a few minutes, and best of luck with the festival today. I'm the horror nerd Todd Struth, signing off from First Contact Film Festival here at Smodcastle Cinemas. We'll see all of you in the next interview.